Hey guys, this is the last page in our phonics book. We're doing pages 239 and 240, and it's all review. So we just need to make sure that for each section, you read the instructions carefully. So let's look at the top of the page. Circle 2 words in each box that mean the same thing. So in number 1, we have cold, cool, seed, and shook. Which 2 words mean the same thing or almost the same thing? Okay. Cold and cool. So you'll circle cold and cool. And when you go down to the next set of instructions, it says circle 2 words in each box that mean the opposite. So at the top we were looking for synonyms. Now we're looking for antonyms. So let's look at number 7. We have little, puppy, jelly, and big. Which 2 words are opposite? I hope you chose little and big. Go ahead and circle those. And now the instructions at the bottom of the page. Circle the word that will finish each sentence. Print it on the line. The blank was shining. And you have the words sun and sun. Which one is the correct spelling of sun if we're talking about the sun outside that is shining? I hope you chose the first one. Circle sun and print it on the line. Remember you're circling S-U-N. All right, turn your papers over. And let's look at the instructions at the top. Fill in the bubble beside the word that names or describes each picture. And you can see there's a circle around the dog's tail. So is it tail, tell, or tail? Which of the tails is the same as the dog's tail? It's the bottom one. So fill in the bubble in front of the bottom tail. And the next set of instructions, read the words. Fill in the bubble next to the word that has the same meaning. So opposite of wrap. Is the opposite of wrap unwrap or rewrap? So you're going to fill in the bubble for unwrap. So make sure you go back for each section, reread the instructions. There are a lot of instructions on these pages. And we'll see you back here in a little while for math. Bye. All right, hi guys, we're back for math. Let's set this up. There we go. And we're on pages 313, 314. And it's chapter 7, lesson 8. All right, it says, let's learn. Kelly made a bar graph to show the number of faces on solid figures. She followed these steps. So it says, number 1, title and label the graph. So you see there's a purple box at the top. Her title is Faces on Solids. At the bottom, she wrote the labels, solid figures, and up the side, number of faces. Okay. It says draw or write the name of the object. So she drew a pyramid, a cylinder, and her rectangular prism. Number the grid starting at 0. So if you look at the number of faces, the flat line is 0. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 going up the side of our chart. And color 1 box for each face. So the first one's a pyramid. Let's look at the pyramid. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. And so she colored in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. The next one is a cylinder. Remember we said a cylinder does not have faces. Some people think that this is a circle face, but really it's not really a face because you have to have edges that meet at corners to have faces. Okay? So on the cylinder we have 0 faces. And then for the rectangular prism, we have 1, 2, point to the back, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. And so they filled in 6 boxes for the bar graph. Okay? Now we're going to make a bar graph to show the number of sides on plain figures. So you need to trace the title. The title is Sides of Plain Figures. They already labeled the bottom number of sides, so trace the numbers for the number of sides. And they already put the plain figures on the side, so you can trace those plain figures. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to do that now. Trace your title, trace your numbers, and trace your figures. And remember, if I go too fast, you can always pause the video and start it up again. We're going to look at the first one. The first one has 6 sides. It's a hexagon. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and they colored in 6 boxes. You're going to complete the graph for each of the other figures that are drawn. Count the sides and then color in the bars. Okay, turn your paper over. You're doing the same thing on the back, but you're drawing your shapes going up. Now, it says flat surfaces on solid figures. So now it's not talking about faces, it's talking about flat surfaces. So your cylinder, when you do your cylinder, it will have 1, 2 flat surfaces. Okay? So you'll fill in that graph, and you can go ahead to the last picture where they show a green cylinder. We did that together, and fill in 2 boxes because there are 2 flat surfaces. Okay? I want you to do critical thinking with a grown-up. You don't have to write anything, but I want you to talk about the questions with a grown-up. And after you've talked to a grown-up, you can put a check mark. Okay, so go ahead and finish your math on your own. Remember to finish the front and do the back. And also remember, you need to click on the link for Friday's lesson because we're going to need to cut out some shapes. I will put specific instructions as to which shapes you will need. Actually, I can tell you right now, for next week, you're going to need to cut out a diamond, a triangle, a trapezoid, a square, an arrow, a triangle, and a heart. Okay? And if you'd like, you can also cut out this 5-sided figure, and that's an upside down trapezoid, which you'll have from the front. So those are the ones you'll need to cut out, and I will, let's see. So you also, did we do the hexagon? On that page, you'll also need the hexagon. Okay? And I'll list that on Friday's lesson for you. So if you didn't follow along with that, no worries. It will be typed up on Edmodo, and you just have to look and see which shapes you have to cut out on that paper. All right. When you come back, we'll be talking about freckle juice and Hawaii and our closed crossword puzzle. See you in a bit. All right, hey guys, we're going to talk about our freckle juice paper for today. It looks like this. And let's read all of the phrases. First, we have freckle juice, freckles for sale, and then it says helpful teachers, secret potions, foolish beliefs, magic marker dots, freckle counting, and self-worth. On your paper, 3 of these are circled. Foolish beliefs is circled, self-worth is circled, and helpful teachers is circled. I want you to think about the story, choose one of those circled phrases, and post why do you think that that is written on here. So for example, if I was going to do freckle counting, I could say that Andrew Marcus counted Nikki Lane's freckles. I want you to tell me why one of those 3 circled phrases is on there, and then I want you to tell me by posting on Edmodo. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you think. Okay, so you can pause now and go ahead and do that. And when you come back, we'll be talking about Hawaii. We're in our Hawaii booklets. We're on pages 26. And there's a picture of a boy on a waterfall. Even though we're talking about the mudslide, it looks a little bit like a mudslide. And we're going to use our imaginations to say so. And on this page, there is a picture of a lake. There's a lot here, so I'm going to read the story to you. The instructions say, read the passage and then answer the question in a complete sentence. What do Hawaiians use as a sled on a mudslide? The wonderful mudslide. If you like to eat pineapples and coconuts, you'd like the Hawaiian Islands, one of the places where pineapples and coconuts are grown. Great fields of sugarcane grow there too, along with every kind of delicious tropical fruit you can think of, and a lot you never would think of. Fruits and vegetables and flowers grow all year long. Except on the tops of a few volcanoes, it never gets cold. You don't have to wear an overcoat. You don't even have to wear shoes. The big city of Honolulu is on one of the islands, but everywhere else are green mountains, green valleys, and the blue ocean that has high white surfing waves. In addition, in the rainy season in the islands, you can use the red mud of the islands in place of snow for sliding. You are wet and muddy, sopping wet and muddier in 1 minute than you thought you would ever be in your whole life. You have red mud sticking between your toes and your fingers. You have mud in your hair and mud everywhere. When you are that muddy and finding it fun, you might be high on a hill in Hawaii, sliding down so fast that your friends look blurred and the bushes rush past, and you wonder if your stomach forgot to come along. You're sliding on mud, not snow, just plain old mud. There is probably a warm, fuzzy rain falling that keeps the mud as slippery as melting ice. Guess what you were using for a sled? Tea leaves. They are pronounced the same as the tea we drink. Children in Hawaii pick a bunch of them from a tea bush. When one tea leaf sled wears out, the children pick another sled. Tea leaves are big, thick, and glossy green. They grow at the end of long stalks. At the top of the hill, you sit down on the leaves and hold on tight to the stalks that stick out between your legs. You lift your feet off the ground, lean backwards, and whee! Faster and faster, slipping and sliding, swooping and flying. Sometimes you are really flying when you go off a steep place and go into the air. But it doesn't hurt much when you land and go slipping and sliding the rest of the way down the hill. Now you have to climb the hill again in all that slippery mud. You get so tired sometimes you think you cannot do it. But you do, because it's so much fun to slide down again. Finally, when everyone gets too tired to slide anymore, you all tramp happily down to the beach to swim with your clothes on and wash out some of the mud. Your mother would not want you walking through the house that muddy. All right, so you're going to go back. Remember on the top of the first page that we read, and it's actually page 26, you have to answer with a complete sentence, what do Hawaiians use as a sled on a mudslide? Remember, your sentence needs to begin with an uppercase letter and end with a period. So you can go ahead, pause the video and write your sentence, and then come back and we'll talk about our closed crossword puzzles for the day. Okay, so today, on the top corner of our puzzles, you should see the letters IP, and the name of our fill-in-the-blank puzzle is Afternoon in the Park. So all of our words today are going to have the IP sound in them. And we'll start by reading the word list for our crossword puzzle. lip, rip, hip, sip, trip, snip, zips, tulip, slips, tiptoe, flipper, lipstick, dripping, slippery, and chipmunk. All right, and you're doing the same thing you did yesterday. You're doing your crossword puzzle. So you can, across number 3 is tear, not tear. They're spelled the same way. This is tear. So we'll go ahead and do that one together. 3 across is tear. 3 across, when I look at 3 across right here, it has 1, 2, 3 letters. So I need a word with 3 letters that means tear. And the correct answer is rip. So I'm going to, you'll circle rip and write it right here in number 3. Okay. And then when you're finished, we'll look at our puzzle Afternoon in the Park. Let's go ahead and read our word box. Lips, sip, trip, slip, tulip, flippers, dripping, tiptoe, slippery, and chipmunk. Remember, you're going to circle the word that completes this, or that you use to fill in the blank, and print it on the line. And again, if you're using this paper, just copying it, you can number the blanks 1 through 10 and write the word on a plain piece of paper if you didn't print it. And for the crossword puzzle, remember you can do the same thing. You can write across and write the numbers and just write the word. Okay. Have a good rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. And remember, Monday's Memorial Day, so we'll see you back on Tuesday. Bye, guys.